Hey, what's going on? This is Frank Salas, better known as the talented Mr. Salas. And in this video, I want to share with you my personal story on how I use social media to rocket start my very first business, which was a spray tanning business. Now, I got to go back in time and take you to a time machine. So I was 20 years old. I'm 29 now at the time of this recording, and I was a senior in college. I had 1 year left to go to get my degree, and I was going to follow the track that everybody else before me has set across and live that whole lifestyle. I was gonna get married and have kids and do all that stuff. But honestly, I didn't want to do that. It wasn't in the cards for me. I just didn't feel like doing that. I'm the captain of my ship, and my ship didn't want to go there. My ship wanted to go for an adventure. By the way, I'm broadcasting here from Playa del Carmen in Mexico. I travel the world 70% of the year. I still get to run my businesses anywhere in the world. And as far as how I got started, I was 20 years old. I dropped out of college my senior year, and I started my first business. My first business was a spray tanning business. And this was back in 2008 before Kim Kardashian made this popular. By the way, I have no idea what this guy's doing over there. I started my business in 2008, and it was a spray tanning business before Kim Kardashian made the whole spray tanning thing popular. I had to do a lot of education to the marketplace, and a lot of people just didn't understand what I had to offer. I was doing okay, but honestly, for 8 months, I lost money. And I don't come from a silver spoon background. I was actually born homeless. English is my second language, and I lived my first 4 years of my life in a rural farm in Mexico with no electricity, no running water, and I was kind of a handful, to be honest with you. So if I can become successful on business using social media, you can too. And I'm just gonna share with you my personal story. So for months 1 through 6, I was having a hard time with my business getting leads in. I met this sales guy, and this like sleazy salesperson. I told him my situation. I said, you know what? I have about $5,000 to invest into marketing. I know I need to market. Marketing is something that all businesses need to generate leads. And when you market, you get people to notice you. And then from there, they take action. They decide whether they want to do business with you or not. So I met this guy at a networking event. I'm 20 years old. I'm super green. And this guy's like, this young kid has 5 grand. I'm going to take this kid's 5 grand. And he was selling Valpak. And for those of you guys who don't know what Valpak is, Valpak are those coupons that you get inside your mailbox. And when you when you get them in your mailbox, you throw them in the trash. Most people don't even open them, and I didn't know that. I'm like, oh, well, we're gonna send people letters with my coupon to these nice neighborhoods, and I'm gonna get business. Awesome. I signed the dotted line. I paid my money. I didn't realize that's what happened, and I also didn't realize that it wasn't just my coupon. It was like 500 other businesses putting their little coupon in that Valpak. So screw you, Valpak, and screw that guy for taking my money and not actually serving me. So that happened, and I lost all my money. And for months 1 through 6, I ate once a day. I was too proud to ask for help from my parents or even my girlfriend. I just ate once a day. I was like, no, I'm gonna figure this thing out. And I was young, you know how it goes. And I ate once a day for 6 months. It got really bad in months 6, 7, and 8. I ate once every other day. So I was literally starving. And some of you people might be in that place right now. And if you are, I'm talking directly to you right now. I really am. So I was in a place where I had to decide of, do I want to quit or do I want to keep going? And I was just like, you know what? I've come this far to come this far. I'm ready. I want this so bad. I want to be successful. I don't want to go back to college. I don't want to get a job. I want to be self-employed. I want to have my own business. And you know what I did? I stuck to my guns and I said, I'm going to figure this thing out. And even my mom, who believed in me my whole life, there's nothing that I couldn't have done. She says if I work hard, if I do something enough, that I could do it. And she told me, he's like, you know what, Frank, you tried, we're proud of you, but you should probably get a job and go back to college. And in that moment, I made a decision. I was like, man, not even my mom believes in me right now. Damn, that sucks. That's a pretty crappy feeling, not gonna lie. I was like, you know what, Mom? I'm gonna make you a promise. This year, I'm gonna remodel your house. And this was when I was eating once every other day, and I didn't tell her this, but she could tell because I was super skinny. I'm a skinny bro, but I was super skinny then. And I just made her a promise that I was gonna do that. So this was my strategy. Back in 2008, I had a Facebook page through my business Facebook page, and I was one of the first people to have a Facebook business page who wasn't like Microsoft or a really huge company. So I was leveraging social media to connect with people. I was getting some success with it, but most people at the time didn't have Facebook. It was mostly for college kids, and college kids couldn't afford my spray tans. They were $60 a pop, and they only lasted a week. This was a high-end luxury service. So with my existing clients, I just asked them a favor. I was like, hey guys, there's this website that I have. It's called Facebook. Do you guys have it? Every one of them said, no. What the hell is Facebook? This was back in 2008 to show my age a little bit. So I just said, you know what? If you would do me a huge favor and create a Facebook account and leave me a review on my Facebook page, that'll really help me get more business. And they did. They left me awesome reviews, and Google is always looking to pick up new and trending things. And at the time, Facebook reviews were super hot. And once these reviews came up, it didn't happen overnight, but pretty much overnight, about 2 or 3 weeks later, my phone was blowing up. My phone was blowing up so much that I had to hire a full-time receptionist during the day and the night just to handle the phone calls that were coming in. And then I had to hire an answering service overnight to handle phone calls that were coming in from all over the world, because when people typed in best spray tan in Dallas, Fort Worth, mine was the one that popped up first. And Google loved me, and I was getting calls from celebrities, professional athletes' wives, socialites, and word spread like wildfire. My reviews got more reviews, I was doing great business, and things blew up. And on month 8, I made $75. Now, for those of you guys who are like, oh, well, I'm not gonna starve for $75, for me, that was the best $75 I ever made. I was losing money for almost a year. I was in the red, and I was finally in the black at $75. And one of my mentors, Amber Aziza, make sure you follow her everywhere on social media, over at Amber_Aziza with 1 Z, A-Z-I-Z-A. She taught me that if I can make $1, then I can make $1 million. So in my mind, I made 75 bucks. So if I can make 75 bucks, why can't I make 75,000? Why can't I make 750,000? Why can't I make 7 million? You know, why not? If I can make 75 bucks, I have a proof of concept. All I gotta do is make some tweaks and scale this bad boy. So I now had a profitable business. And guess what? When I adopted that mindset, guess what happened? The next month, I made $50,000 profit. And guess what I did with that money? I'm not proud of this. I'm kind of proud of this, but as a businessman, I'm not proud of this. I took that money and I remodeled my mom's house. Now, I should have taken that money and, invested in my business, put it in for more marketing and, hired more help. But I was in a scarcity mindset at the time. I've never seen that kind of money. I was born homeless, guys. I didn't have a home growing up. So to see $50,000 in my bank account, I was like, man, I didn't believe this was going to last. And because I had that belief of scarcity, because I believed that I wasn't going to generate that revenue ever again, in my mind, I was like, well, I better take this money now and remodel my mom's house, because at least that way we'll have something that we can see. That was my mindset. That was my train of thought. Now, I don't believe that way anymore. I have an abundance mindset, but at the time, I was in a scarcity mindset. So I remodeled my mom's house, and after it was all done, I told her these very famous words of my family. I said, Mom, the next time you ever doubt anybody in this family again, I just need you to look down at these wood mahogany floors and let your reflection from these shiny ass wood floors show you that anything is possible if you be the best, if you always commit and you never quit, just like you taught us. And I dropped the mic on my mom's straight up. That was one of the best conversations I ever had with my moms, and I was very proud of that moment. And since then, I've done a lot more stuff for my family and people around me. I've donated a lot more to charities, and I've helped out a lot more people. I donate my time. I serve my communities, and communities all over the world for that matter. And, I'm so thankful that I decided to go all in and have the courage to, even when nobody was believing me, to believe in myself. Because that's what it takes if you want to be an entrepreneur. You got to believe in yourself, and you got to make that happen. So I wanted to share with you on how I use social media to jumpstart and rocket start my business. And since then, I've used it to launch a real estate business. I've used it to launch a fashion line and several other businesses. And I've also consulted several other hundreds of businesses on how to grow their business using social media. Now, back in 2008, I only had 2 options. I had Facebook, I had Twitter, and I had YouTube. All of those platforms were less than 3 years old. The majority of society was not using those platforms. It was a little weird to use your phone, or even, they didn't even have apps for that matter back in the day. It was a little weird to use the computer to do that. Like MySpace was really hot back then, and it was dying actually, if that tells you anything about the the era that I was in. Now, in 2016, this is December 16th of 2017 right now, you've got Facebook. Facebook now has Live, it has Messenger, you have Facebook Stories now, it just got launched yesterday on Facebook. You have Instagram, you've got Twitter, Pinterest, Snapchat, Periscope, Busker, YouTube. YouTube now has Live. There's so many different avenues that you can use for free to market yourself. And yes, there is more competition, but that just means you got to work a little harder. And if you're not willing to work hard, then you don't deserve to be an entrepreneur. You don't deserve to have the success, because all you got to do is work harder, show up more consistently, and deliver better content to people. Because right now, people are buying directly from their phones, yes, but you have to educate them first. You got to let them know why it's a good idea to do business with you. You got to let them know why your product is revolutionary. You got to let them know why you stand out amongst other people. And we're getting more and more into the era of where we are relying on personal relationships and people's personal credibility, as opposed to what a newspaper tells us, as opposed to what a radio commercial tells us, or even the TV commercial tells us. Most people who watch TV, if you watch it on your DVR on your own time, and you fast forward through the commercials. You're watching Netflix, you're watching stuff on your Facebook. You don't ever watch TV anymore unless it's like live, and even then, you don't even pay attention to the TV. You're on your phone during the commercials. So it's never been easier or more affordable to get yourself in front of people. That $5,000 that I spent in 2008 to that Valpak, I would 10 times, a million times out of a million times, take $5,000 and drop it into Facebook ads, Pinterest ads, Twitter ads, Snapchat ads, Instagram ads, 10 times, and I would get a million times more return on my investment than if I was just using traditional marketing. You got to market like the Jetsons, and you can't be marketing like the Flintstones. So I just wanted to share with you my personal journey on how I use social media to rocket start my entrepreneurship career. Hopefully that brought you some value. Hopefully that motivated you. Let me know down in the comments below, and if you like this, if you found value in this, go ahead and share this out. Go ahead and let people know about this, because it's my goal to reach a lot of people and show them that it's possible now more than ever to make a living online via social media. And if you really like what I'm dropping, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, I strongly encourage you to visit the links in the description and the caption below, or to go to bit.ly/talented1. That's my private Facebook group called The Talent Tribe. And that's where I serve those with talent by transforming them into thought leaders. You get direct access to me every single day, and every single day I drop some type of video, some type of knowledge, some type of wisdom for you to be able to grow your business online and social media. Adios. This has been a presentation from the talented one himself, the talented Mr. Salas, Frank Salas. Adios. Follow me everywhere at Talented Mr. Salas.